Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to draw shapes and forms, also using lines and understanding perspective and how it works. And this is the basis and the foundational skill of drawing anything. It will help you to draw anything if you master how to draw shading techniques, how to come up with shading techniques, and that comes originally from drawing lines. And lines, particularly, there are different kinds of lines. There are straight lines, there are curved lines. So those are just simple exercises that you are supposed to work on in order to master how to draw anything. So about mastering lines, there are different kinds of lines that I'm going to show you. So this is the basis and you're going to practice them. So we have these lines, the normal lines. You just draw lines like that. It's a simple exercise, but it's very important for your growth as an artist. Then we have the curved lines like that. So it will make your hands flexible to drawing anything. Then we have dashed lines like that, or the dotted lines. So it will help you know how to pause and how to continue. So these are just simple lines like that. Then we have like curved lines, different kinds of curved lines. Yeah, so like you see here on the screen, there are different kinds of lines that you need to practice and to work on your growth as an artist, especially if you're a beginner. Then from lines, now we are going to master how to draw shapes. And shapes, you know, it's developed from lines. And drawing shapes is just simple. You know the basic shapes. We have the circle, we have the rectangle, we have trapezium, we have triangle, and so much more. So about drawing shapes, they are simple shapes. So let's try with square. Square looks like that, very simple. Rectangle, they are just lines joined together to form shapes. Then we have circles. So circles, the more you practice on the scribbling technique, which you draw as many circles as possible like these ones, you draw them fast, so it will help you to draw it freehand without any help. So it will make your hands also flexible on that. And then so you draw, this is a circle, circle, a circle. And after now mastering how to draw shapes, now we go to forms. The forms, particularly, they are three-dimensional shapes. And in terms of mastering three-dimensional shapes, you just add the three-dimensional part of shapes. For example, if you have a shape like this, then you just add the three-dimensionality to that. And now that one is called a cube. Also this one as well. If you add the three-dimensionality on the other side, it becomes a cuboid. A sphere, you cannot define it if there are no shades of value or any shade. So for you, if it's like this, you just think it's a circle. Yeah, if you have to define it as a sphere, you have to shade it, and in shade it, you have also to master the shading and light techniques. That is the element of value. That is also another practice on how to draw realism using a pencil, and how to draw three-dimensional form of a circle, which is a sphere. Now, particularly for this topic, I was going to share with you how you can draw shapes, you can draw perspective formats, and how you can translate it into understanding how perspective works. Now perspective works is that there are three types or four types of perspective. First, we have the linear perspective. Linear perspective now is this one when you have vanishing points. We have 1-point perspective, we have 2-point perspective, and then we have 3-point perspective. So one point perspective has one vanishing point. So if we have a horizon line, this is called a horizon line right here. Then we have a vanishing point, a point where all the perspective lines meet. So these ones are the perspective lines, these ones that you draw here. And then once you understand the 1-point perspective, you draw any shape to match and to connect each corner of the shape that you have drawn. For example, if it's a square or a rectangle, you connect it to the vanishing point, and the lines that connect your corners of the rectangle to the vanishing point is called perspective lines. So once you have connected it, now you can choose any point from the perspective line to represent the length of your shape or your form, like this. So once you have chosen it, you now try to connect them. It is better you use a ruler, because it will now be easier for you to understand it better and to have straight lines aligned. Before you just start using a freehand method, it is better for you to start drawing using rulers, because it will be straight and you'll be more confident when using rulers. So after that, now you have aligned and you have chosen the end point and the beginning point of your rectangle going to the other side. Now it's time for you to connect the dots. Once you have chosen these lines and you have drawn the lines that connect between the upper and the lower side, now it's time for you to connect both. It's time for you now to connect both squares, or if it's a rectangle. Now after you have connected it, you have drawn in 1 point perspective. So it is as easy as that, just understanding how to observe things that how they appear in reality. Now, how perspective works, it says that the closer the object, the bigger it is, and the farther the objects, the smaller it is. The details goes as they diminish, either in size or in details. Then we have a 2-point perspective, which looks like this. 2-point perspective, it works as the 1-point perspective, but this has 2 vanishing points. That means that there are 2 faces of your object, of your subject, that will be at your viewpoint. Now once this, you have drawn the horizon line and 2 vanishing points, you just draw a straight line. Start first with a straight line right here. Then after you have drawn a straight line, you can connect it to the vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2 right there. These are perspective lines, the top and the bottom, the vanishing point from here to here and from here to here. Then as well, as you remember, we chose a point at the perspective line where you're going to connect, so that we can create our shape or our form right there. So from here, after you have connected, you've chosen a point right here, and this point is also going to reflect on the lower side right here. So this is the lower side. So after you have connected this one to the lower side, now it has formed a shape or a plane on this other side. Now the same technique applies to this other side. Now after you have done that, it's now time to connect all the sides together, so that you can form the form that you want to create. You can create now that form. So this point, you connect it to the vanishing point 2, and this point you connect it to the vanishing point 1. Now that from there, now you have your 2-point perspective in line. Then after practicing drawing that one, the next one, you have 3-point perspective. And 3-point perspective is quite significant for you to understand. Now let's demonstrate that in reality. So now, if you have your horizon line running from here, you can choose a point of vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. Now then, you choose an object that you like to draw. Let's say it's a building or it's a box. So now that object will give us the 3rd vanishing point. So let's state the vanishing point 3 to be right here. Okay. Then now we have to align. Just draw a straight line, a vertical line from above to below. Then we choose a point at your comfort that you will use now to get the dimensions for your object. Now you connect every corner point to your vanishing point 1 and the other point to the vanishing point 2 using the same object, the same format. Now these one are the perspective line. You have not formed the object yet, because you are using the 3-point perspective. Now from using this vanishing point 1 and the point at the bottom of the object, we have to choose a point from this perspective line where the object will end at. Now after that, Now this one, these points here will give us the dimension and the where we are supposed to put it in line with the vanishing point 3. Now for that reason, we connect vanishing point 3 to this point right there, because this one is already connected here, so this one will connect there as well. Now from there we have our 3-dimensional object right there from this point. And now from that, now we have created our object in 3-point perspective, and it will look something like that. So though this is a bit extreme form of perspective, but that's exactly how it works. So we have 3 planes running. We have this point 1, we have point 2, and then we have the point 3 right here. 1, 2, and 3 right here. So this is point 3. Now you can start adding more details if you want to. If it's a building or if it's a certain kind of box, we just align using the perspective lines. So these boxes, they align like that, the other ones like that as well. Then we have our 3-point perspective. So the rules here are, you have to use vanishing points, you have to have a horizon line, and then you have to have the perspective line, so that you can form your object in whatever the perspective format that you want to. So an example of a 3-point perspective is this one, where I drew using, it's like a building. So you have vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2, and vanishing point 3 right there. So these one are the perspective lines. Once you have this or a vertical line running over here, this one will be the genesis of your object. Then you choose a point from bottom to top, you connect every part. You connect every part using the perspective lines, and from there you will have your 3-point perspective. Now getting to the next point, now you've known how to draw the linear perspective. Now it's time for you to know how to manipulate that result to come up with very interesting objects. Now for that reason, you see this object, this is a 2-point perspective, where we have used the 2-point perspective to insert these circles inside this cuboid, so that we can come up with a cylinder. So the question here is, how do we draw a cylinder using a perspective format? So for any shape, any form, now this one is the exercise here is to insert the circle inside a cuboid or a cube, so that you learn how to insert it inside that. It's one of the easiest way to understand how to draw a circle as well, despite just drawing circles using your hands. So if you know how to draw a rectangle, if you know how to draw a square, which is an easier job for you, now you can draw a circle inside it, and it can make you practice on drawing a circle freehand without any help. Now let's draw a square right here, because a circle has a radius that has equal sizes on both sides. Then we have from A to B, from B to C, right there. Now, when you have, after you have had this demonstration right here, you divide it into, you find the center line. Where is the center line? You remember here we don't have, and we are not using the compass. We're just doing it without using them. Once we have our square, now we can do whatever we want to. Now after that, then you connect each part. Then this is the importance of you having practice how to draw lines, curved lines, and so whatsoever, gestures, and so much more. Then now we'll create an arc from this point here to this point. That's an arc. You take your time drawing an arc, and this one as well, you draw an arc, and this part as well, you draw an arc. So now for this, now you have your circle inserted. inside this particular box or square. Now let's draw it in three-dimensional format using the perspective way. Now from this, let's start with vertical line. So remember, even the point of using dimensions to create a perspective, way of seeing things in reality, you are using that formula to apply it when you're drawing it in freehand. For that reason, once you have known the rules of perspective, it becomes easier for you to draw any object without even using those lines. So once you have understood how it is being done, you will probably get the correct dimensions when you're measuring using your freehand technique. So let's, for this case, let's use a perspective line here and here. So this is like a 2-point perspective. Once you have connected this point to this point, from this point to that point using the perspective lines, then you again choose a point, you align it carefully there, and on this point as well, very careful. So this one has to be a bit closer because it's a cube. And then from this point to that point, and then from this point to this point, again from this other side as well, from that to that point. Now we are going to insert a circle inside this, every panel of this particular cube. Remember, the easiest way, you just connect where you see a point or a corner, you connect, then it will give you the correct dimensions for your object or for your cube or cuboid. Now from this, we have to put the midpoint. Now remember, this is perspective. So, and the object closer looks bigger or larger in size, and the object that is far away, they look smaller and less detailed. Now this is the far object, so the midpoint can't be in the middle like this one. It will be a bit, because this is the larger part, it goes as it recedes. Same to this one. So once you have understood that, it will be very easier for you to draw your circle inside this one using the same format. Once you have that done, then now you draw an arc as well, from this point to this point, from this point to the other point, from this point to this point, from this point to the other point, and from there you have your arc. On this side as well, from the other point A to point B, like that, yes. This side as well. So now there you have your circles inside each panel. From the top side as well, once you have connected this part to this other side, you can draw, though it's looks a bit invisible, but you can work on that. Now that one, we have inserted circles inside our cuboids. Now it becomes easier once you have understood the perspective, drawing shapes and forms. It is easier for you to work on this. Now this one, we have 3 panels: the right panel, left panel, and the upper panel as well. So as you can see on the screen, these are some of the examples of what you can draw using this formula. Once you have understood how perspective works and how to draw using shapes and forms, once you understood how to draw shapes and forms, it will be easier for you to draw this one. Just a simple step-by-step rule that will enable you to draw anything. Then after that, now we can go ahead and draw a cylinder using the perspective method, which was the goal. Now we have our perspective lines right here. I'm going to show you how to draw it using freehand and also using the dimensions. Now here you have vanishing point 1. Here you have vanishing point 2. Then we choose a point right here where our object will fall, the basis of the object. Now here we try to draw, let's say it's this point. Now this one we are drawing a cylinder. Now for drawing a cylinder in that format, we have to use a cuboid. So we connect this point, we have to draw a vertical line here first. Then we connect this perspective line to vanishing point 2, and then we have another perspective line to vanishing point 1. Then we mark where our object, the height of our object. Then we connect it as well, right there, and then goes on to this other side. Now, then we mark another point here that will represent the other side of the cylinder. That one, then we again connect this other side. Then we decide the side that where the cylinder will end. We also draw that one part, and then we also draw this other part. Now the trick here is to draw three-dimensional object on a circle. The challenge is to draw that circle inside a square in a three-dimensional format. Okay, now we have that one. Now we can draw this one, and this one. All right, so so the trick here is just to understand the dynamics of how it works. So once we have this one aligned, it's just the same formula, inserting a circle inside a square. Then we have this part, like that. We also draw this on this other side. So once you know these rules, the rules that are the ones that will make you master this technique, you just insert. Then you connect this side to this and this other side together, like that. And then we have our cylinder right there. If you want to shade, you can shade it in any way you can, right there. And once you have drawn this, once you have mastered how to draw something like this, now you can, it is one step ahead of drawing anything using shapes and forms. Now using shapes and forms, you have to know how to draw shapes and forms in perspective format, and that will really help you in terms of mastering how things really are, and you will actually be able to draw anything, because everything is made from shapes and forms if you observe them carefully. Every object has a shape and it has an object. Now I have shown you how to draw it using dimensions. Now we can use it freehand, right? Now in freehand it's very easy. You can just draw once you have understood the rules. You remember I said this point is larger than the other one, which is same to this other side. So once you have that one, so your practice to lines and objects drawing is very important for your growth. So we have this one, we have that one, this other side, and then we also have this. So it will also enhance your speed and how you draw objects. So once you have that, you connect it freehand. Then now you can shade if you want to. Now we have our cylinder in perspective format, in 2-point perspective. Yeah, so as easy as that, you'll be able to work on this. It's just practice step by step. It's not hard. It's just to break down the chunks into small chunks that you can achieve them. So now when you collect those chunks together, it will come up to something amazing that you will be glad to see by yourself. So this is how you draw a cylinder in perspective format. So I guess I'll see you in the next video after showing this, and we'll practice more on how to draw objects using shapes and forms. After that point, you have a nice time. See you later.